Radiant's ban.
Just 5 to 10 minutes of your game, just by virtue of watching what they do to you. That's usually the best way to learn in Dota.
Radiant's ban.
I'm down for that. 5 to 10
heroes like Death Prophet,
just by virtue of watching what they do to you. That's usually the best. 8 CS under tower.
Hopefully not, at least.
Level 2.
And if EG choose to not ban Nyx, well, then it's going to be a Nyx for sure. But
yes.
We'll see which EG wants to respect ban. Was it the AA last time?
Last game it wasn't the AA that they banned
or picked AA every single game. So yes, when their second pick, they have always banned AA. When their first pick, they've always picked AA. If it's in the pool, they clearly think it's
that should be a Nyx, yeah. Nyx Assassin at the moment is it's still one of the highest contended pick/ban rate because he gets banned on awful ton at the moment. Decent win rate as well, although apparently not decent enough for me to write it down.
I was about to say we're
I know, I said it. Well, I know what the win rate was yesterday.
You want to talk win rates? Let me tell you about Tiny's win rate. This dude was 9%.
Oh, don't worry. Tiny was indeed impressive enough for him for me to write it down. He made the cut because it was so abysmally
10 seconds to go.
difficult. It was so abysmally bad.
Keep monologuing, Shiver. You're going to get to that index card eventually.
It was so abysmally bad that I had to write it down. He had only won one game out of 8.
Ooh,
one game out of 8.
He just won a second one, I think. Because when did you pull these stats?
Oh, this was this morning.
Yeah, so I think earlier, I feel like I should know the series, but he won.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow, 2 games.
Yeah. Oh, Spirit won with it. That's
wow.
Happened. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, definitely not the best track record for the hero. We do know though, EG they do run in multiple positions, so it's a bit of a flex pick, sure.
Is this a bit of a yoink from Beast Coast, where that could be potentially a 5-position Viper?
Yeah.
They just got that done to them earlier today, and obviously these guys play against the members of Beast Coast continuously in pubs.
Doesn't feel like a very Fly hero.
Yeah, it kind of does to me.
I feel like Fly plays these savers typically, like the Oracle, the Abaddons, the healers.
I'll be straight with you. I think Fly's conceptual knowledge of Dota is upper echelon, if not the best.
Sure.
But I don't think he's known for being an incredibly skilled mechanically player, like these like crazy execution, high threshold, like 5 position.
I'm with you.
I think Viper's in there.
Okay.
Like Viper's a hero that's all about knowing exactly where to be on the map, and to a viewer at home may seem like a super easy hero, but it's not. You know, you play these enchantresses, these phoenixes, they don't have stuns, but that usually makes them more difficult to play conceptually because they don't have a clear place to be on the map with their toolkit. They kind of just have to play around the abilities of their teammates. And this guy's like 10k MLR playing 5 position.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be... there's so many ways they can go about this with the Viper, but it's almost certainly mid or 5 because you're not going to land it against the Lifestealer. That makes no sense. And in that case, the Tiny could be 2 or 4. I'm banking on it being a 4 Tiny, 5 Viper, but we'll see.
They have played Tiny, not yet, this major. They played Viper once, though, was for Abed. Victory as well against Beast Coast earlier today. But yeah, I like that they're flex picks. I feel like that's if you're gonna open Tiny Viper, you better have them be flex picks. Otherwise, it's a strange opening.
Yeah, it is a very strange opening.
How about the Lifestealer as a pairing to Nyx Assassin, though? That seems like a equally peculiar opening. Poyo first phasing his hero.
It just shuts down both these heroes as 4s as well as 3s. So it kind of... You see this ridiculous flex that EG is representing. As long as you can adequately protect this Lifestealer,
10 seconds to go.
You're not allowing them to fully abuse the nature of both of their flex picks. I think that's what they're going for.
Okay, so some of the protection, Ursa, Terrorblade, you have to ban out
Razor, I think.
Razor. I feel like there's a lot of things that
I think Razor's the #1 that I see own this hero. So unless they pick 2 heroes that are very good against Razor, then it just ruins Lifestealer's game. The hero can't operate at all.
And EG doing a little bit of targeting for Old 11, taking out the Legion Commander. Mars is already first phase banned by Vici. Still has Doom availability, but so far no real reason to pick it other than the fact that it's popular. So I would be down for Doom Grimstroke if Vici want to do that in second phase.
Yep. They've had some success with the Doom for sure, and we even saw EG banning out first phase in the first game, so they definitely do have it on their radar.
Although actually, having said that, I did see. So Grimstrike was super popular first phase earlier in Wildcards. A lot of Tinies were just tossing people to break the Soulbind, and I was like, oh my god, I had no idea how much of an issue this was. But these Tinies would get caught in the Soulbind, they toss their ally away. They go to their teammates, they toss one of them away. And I was
Dyer's
like,
ban.
this...
You know how that works? Because I actually did a segment on that during
Did you really, Brian?
because there was one game where it got broke like 2 or 3 times.
Okay, tell me about it.
And it's
you just have to do the secondary target, not the primary?
Yeah, you have to do the. It depends on what you're tossing to. But if the leash gets broken, if the primary target of
10
the
seconds
leash
to go.
is still within range of somebody, it will releash to somebody.
Correct, yeah.
But if the secondary
seconds.
target's the only one still in range, so if you're tossing to a creep, you would want to toss the primary target. But if you're tossing to another hero, you could still toss the primary if you want, but they'll just be linked in the outside of the fight.
Right, or the new link will form onto Tiny and the other.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really weird
Radiant's
spell,
ban.
but it's also possible for your teammates to grief you a bit because
With Tiny? Really?
No, I'm saying.
Who knew?
No, I'm saying just in general, like if a Coddle blasts them or a Mars Spear or something like that, some displacement spell on your own.
Oh,
team,
right, the forced movement.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will break the link. So
10
we're
seconds
talking
to
about
go.
a hero that isn't even in the game yet, but it's still fun.
Who do you want to talk about?
Well, I know. I was
5
going to say the
seconds.
second round of bans this is the perfect time to just talk about random
Didn't
crap.
ban out the Razor, though.
Did not. They banned out Terrorblade and Morphling. Definitely strong heroes as well. Ursa there. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they plan on
Just keep it on
picking
your-
it up themselves.
I'll keep it on my radar, but man, that is a boring ass draft. DG got Viper Razor on him. You were talking boring in game 1. This is going to be taken up to number 11.
Do not
mean,
put it past Bulb to go.
Maybe we shouldn't call it boring because I don't
Radiant's
think that
pick.
the game that we just witnessed was boring. It was just lack of action, and there's a lot of these micro decision makes and made. Wow, English hard. That are super exciting
Dyer's
for
pick.
the die-hard Dota fan.
I would just appreciate EG messing up a little bit this game.
Yeah.
Because for the viewers at home, that's where the memes come in.
That's true.
I want to see Arteezy on a cliff at least twice.
We saw that already yesterday, though.
We did, but he TP'd off immediately.
Yeah.
Where's the
I need a
fun?
mag-
One TP off, one cookie off. You know, they
10
found a
seconds
way
to
they can
go.
toss people off this point.
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern could fly off, even though, of course, that
5
wouldn't be
seconds.
Arteezy
Oh,
generally.
how hype would that be, though? And also, now that it is a Wyvern, that's probably Fly Zero, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
He has played it before as well. We have seen a couple of 4 Wyverns, but not a whole lot.
How
And I-
crazy would an Ice Wyvern be?
What were the
Radiant's banned.
Dude, after the curse nerf, I don't think you can really do it.
Okay.
The 2.5 seconds is brutal. And wow, this is very
All the
aesthetically
flyers.
pleasing, yeah.
Yes. Gotta wait for
So
that
many
moment.
wings of flapping there.
When are they flopping at the same time? There's gonna be a moment that
Oh
they
my
all
god,
flap
this is
at the
like when
same-
you're
Yeah, when you're
turn
watching
signal.
the thing trying to hit the corner.
Oh no, the
10
DVD
seconds to
screensaver's
go.
a good screensaver's a good one. I'm thinking about when you're in your car and you have the turn signal on and you're waiting for
seconds.
your turn signal to line up with the dude in front of you. That's how I'm feeling.
Faceless Void.
Faces Void coming out for AG themselves.
That's a nice counter to the Life Stealer. They're also pretty light on stun so far. You do have the Nyx, but not exactly reliable against a hero like Void with the low cooldown mobility. They got some options. I would be
10
kind
seconds to go.
happy to see a
Dyer's
hero
ban.
that Necrophos. I want to say it. Damn it.
Doom still coming out.
I did want to see a single target ultimate that just kind of screwed over the Void, but I thought a ranged hero might go better with the Nyx in lane. Doom, it should be fine, but I do think Void, they're not prioritizing the lane here. They're prioritizing shutting him down
10
after lane. He
seconds to
should have a
go.
pretty good start.
Radiant's
Brian,
ban.
that was their downfall in game 1. You need to
I know.
prioritize the lanes, Vici.
I know. If you haven't played other heroes in this kind of scenario, then don't branch out of your comfort zone randomly in group stage in a game
Sure.
that could be pivotal on whether or not you actually make it to the top 2.
Yeah.
But,
Dyer's ban.
yeah, you're a double melee. Wyvern is a 5 that's absolutely punishable in the first or in the early laning stage, but I guess they're just gonna let it go. They're just gonna let Faces Void escape that potentially disastrous safely. I mean, Wyvern Void is not a strong lane.
10
but
seconds
neither
to
is Nyx
go.
Doom.
Tsunami, earlier you said
5
you didn't
seconds.
really like the Phoenix as a 4, but generally it is DY playing Nyx Assassin and it is PYW on the Phoenix, right? Are you happy with that support combo?
Wait, which order did you say it was?
DY, Nyx Assassin, PYW, Phoenix. Did they switch that
Radiant's
around
banned.
a lot?
Switch that around.
Not this, because not this major yet. So I'm curious. If,
Yeah, I mean, both of them I've seen Phoenix on, and in this situation, let's say, so it could be Phoenix Doom versus Void Wyvern. Then your lane is Lifestealer Nyx Assassin versus don't know yet.
10
I think it's
seconds
open
to
to
go.
interpretation. We will have to see on who EG pick for Ice. I
5
think.
seconds.
most likely.
Yeah.
It actually, Vici Gaming is banning out Templar Assassin. So they are definitely playing with the idea that
yeah.
Three Wyvern, mid Viper. Or 5 Viper, I mean.
yes, and then still not, but here to go. It's definitely very open and flexible. Still, Vici Gaming. We're missing the Ori hero.
They responded to this Lifestealer third pick with the Wyvern. It is a support that's pretty good against you, but how crazy would it be to just pick the off lane right away into that safe lane
Dire's
pick?
pick.
Yeah.
There's that Wyvern. They haven't exactly countered the Wyvern. There's no gap close.
But I mean, just at a base level, do you think it's still viable after the curse nerf?
I'm going to tell you yes.
Okay.
Radiant's
That's
pick.
the conviction.
Storm Spirit.
Okay, well now there's a way to kill Wyvern, but I like that pick.
Yeah. Easy to deal with Void.
I don't love it,
So than
though.
other mid laners.
I'm kind of fine with EG just putting Viper mid now. And going for an off-laner. Let's see.
10 seconds to go.
Slardar?
What do you want?
5
You want
seconds.
stun for the Storm Spirit?
Legion's already banned.
Invoker. Well, it's
So it
something.
is 3 Wyvern
Let's
like
see
I
what they
predicted.
can do.
I'm very excited.
No, it's 3
I
Viper.
try.
I'm very excited nonetheless.
Because it's Abed Invoker.
It's been a while,
It has-
and it's gonna be the Invoker versus Storm lane, which I think is a pretty fun lane to watch because it could go either way, correct?
Yes, I think that I should have predicated more of my predictions on the laning phase, and I'm gonna just be very basic here because that's where EG decides the game most of the time. And I don't think EG's lanes are very strong. Viper, he relies on the poison attack to do like heavy harass, and Lifestealer has rage to remove that. And Doom should have a pretty decent time, and Storm should have a pretty decent time. So EG's now banking on this late game wombo combo team fight. Maybe they're trying to go outside their comfort zone. Doesn't really seem like their recipe for success. I'll go against them again, but with confidence that they're not going to win the lanes.
I think that Poyo's Lifestealer is going to hate life. I think that he's going to get kited constantly. He's going to be having to worry about getting cursed. He's going to worry about Chrono. And he's going to have to worry about a farmed Viper striking him constantly. So even though the lanes aren't as great, I think EG are willing to relinquish some of that strength. I'm going to think that they'll still win it anyway.
We do have the DY Phoenix and the PYW Nyx Assassin, and it did switch that up,
Yeah.
as you said, but it still doesn't sway you in their direction.
It does not. Not enough.
Not.
Lifestealer's going to struggle.
All right, well, that's going to happen in this game too. Vici Gaming versus Evil Geniuses together with ODPixel and Fogged.
My gratitude.
You're wonderful.
Yes, thank you, She. It
Everybody
does
get
feel
set.
like EG has gone for more of a later game type of approach this time around. Vici going for more of the stable Storm Spirit Lifestealer, this Infest Bomb combo that could maybe save the Lifestealer from horrific scenarios that Neil is describing. Owen, how you doing? What do you think?
Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to this. I think I see this, and I just feel that Vici's, they've got to do way better than the lanes. If they get behind at the start, the game goes on. At the end of it all, EG, they've got that setup, right? They've got this Chrono, they've got this Curse, you know, these big AoE setups for that Cataclysm to come in from Abed's Invoker in the later stages. So, yeah, I think Vici, they can't get away with sort of losing all 3 lanes like they did last time. Or at least, you know, not being able to get anything off the back of them. Because
30 seconds to showtime.
I look at this Void, I think the only thing RTZ really has to be worried about is the Doom ultimate. Everything else he can play around, and all in all, it's a pretty strong Void game.
Does have to worry, of course, for the Orchid timing that's going to be coming up from the Storm Spirit too. But yeah, if they can get to those later stages, does feel strong. I think Vici also does have a pretty strong late game draft, though. We've seen Old 11 Doom, this Refresher, this Midas, this Greed that he's gone for. They also have Phoenix, one of those very strong support heroes that does scale very hard. Speaking of Old 11, does scout out that there is a ward in the mid lane. So maybe going to go for a quick D-road there. And the other thing to point out is, too, it is an Invoker picked. into a first pick Nyx Assassin, which can really ruin Invoker's game quite a lot of times. So we'll see how it all does kick off. We do have a lot of master tier heroes here. Ori, master tier Storm, master tier Tiny on crit. Let's see how those lanes do go out.
Let's have a look. Yeah, last game we had that sort of 2k advantage, I think, at least already, like the 8-minute mark from EG. See if they're able to achieve something similar here.
I'm going to be watching top lane because just the way that they doubled up the wave last time, I think that's going to be a similar approach. Using the Nether Toxin, just forcing this wave in. They've got this double wave coming in. But I think Poyoyo will be able to handle it a little bit better as a lifestealer compared to Morph. Not as greedy of a hero.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think, you know, Lifesteal, of course, is going to suffer some difficulties down the line against the Vibe Strike and the Nether Toxin, but at least in the lane and with the backup of DY, yeah, we're going to see Poyoyo have a better time in lane in game 2 than he did in game 1.
Oh, mid lane. Ori steps up a bit far, eats a lot of damage from Abed. He's going to have to eat that EMP too. That's going to make him quite sad. A lot of mana committed from Abed, though. He's down 300 mana just off of the first wave. Usually you want to save a bit more for those constant spam of the tornadoes to secure CS, which can be a bit difficult as the Quas Wex versus the Storm Spirit who's forcing the wave into you constantly. It's back.
I am compelled.
Now, what do you expect sort of build-wise from ISO sides from the off-lane Viper role this game?
It's been, from what I've seen, it's been the same exact build every game. It's been the Urn into either a Atos or bots into Atos, something along those lines. Could see arguments maybe for something like a Veil, but I don't think so. Or he just goes Auras, because that is a nice SX approach. EG does like having somebody with like a pipe and a mech too in the game, so perhaps does look for something like that to save. Since they do have one form of save anyway with the Wyvern, maybe wanting a secondary one to counteract the Doom. Usually does feel nice.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
So far, mid lane, some 4 against a 6 for 2. Very close here. And
It's our favorite matchup. So, Abed,
yeah,
they'll have a little bit of a struggle at the start.
We'll see what moves Abed's able to make. Of course, Abed's Invoker, incredibly active sort of play style he'll go for after he has that first item. You can expect to see him sweeping up and down the
took
map,
a trip to the
looking
old
to get
family
involved
farm.
as much as possible. Spot up.
Courier snipe.
That's easy. He's looking for some bashes here. Won't quite be able to get any more. Old does at least have that chainmail.
I'd be surprised to see much of a kill here on most of the lanes, to be honest. Much more of a passive style coming out. DY did use the dive, crit looking for an opportunity to perhaps to punish. Top is probably the one where we could see that kill, the Phoenix, but other lanes don't really think so. It's a Void and Wyvern versus this Doom, who is super tanky. They'd have to step pretty far out of position, or just consecutive bashes to catch him off guard. EG, same approach, so triple range creep. Hitting the tower, looking to slow down Vici. Both couriers killed too. Is there any regen even left up here? There is some on DY. Poyoyo can
heavily cutting the creeps here.
Yeah. But he's a lifestealer, so it's not a Morphling who just gets really pressured by this. He's got his built-in sustain from his passives. They are starting to get quite a bit of that harassment kicking in, though. Ice.
Stupendous! The rage might be enough to do it here. Poyoyo, he's out of regen. I think they've got him here, EG. As they do, indeed. First blood.
Down the radiant structure
He may
like
be
this.
farming a lot better than he did last game, but still suffering it against the aggression here from Crit and Ice.
These two really know how to bully these poor carries.
Some time down bottom, Art's easy. Bum looking just fine as well, 20 and 5. He's not really being slowed down whatsoever by the lane presence of PYW and Old 11.
He had some point in time dilation early on. He's doing well in the lane anyway. Maybe wants to push off in case there is any aggression. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever get aggressive on him, I think there's potential to turn. You know, with the chase of the slow from that and the Arctic burn, especially like PYW. If he tries to come in with the stun and then he hasn't got that left, they can try and run down the next assassin.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true. PYW using both spells.
Yeah,
cool.
they're going to go for it now. Needs a bash though, and he's not getting it.
Nope.
A bash would have done it there, but RTZ not quite able to find the RNG, so PYW can walk it off.
He's farming nicely though. So is the Doom. Doom gonna get that much better farm because of the built-in Devour, but not able to slow down Arteezy is very important. Once again, top Poyoyo. Crit's looking for the toss back. He'll get it. Poyoyo.
Yeah, he has. And with Rage already being used, this is going to be heavy damage onto Poyoyo. As can they quite? They need it. Is that going to be enough hit with the urn? And they did. They needed another touch upon him, but Poyoyo able to keep enough distance. Which means he's going to have to stick around very low. No salve in the lane between the two of them.
Yeah, Crit. Running all the way back to base to reset. They've done their damage. Poyoyo has been slowing down significantly. Still getting 23 last hits, but they've gotten the 1 kill and bottom. They do get that secondary one as soon as the Nyx Assassin leaves the lane. This time dilation is super valuable.
It is. Yeah, just this 1 point early on is setting them up for these moves, and Vici Gaming losing heroes in ways they wouldn't have intended to. PYW making his way over towards the mid. So just seeing if he can get the setup onto Arbed. He's coming back. Arbed instantly turns there with the combo. Backups coming in from Crit. The stun down onto Arbed and Crit. Have they got enough damage? Crit tossing Arbed back to safety underneath the tower. Will get them away. Again, you know, 6 minutes in. No surprise here. Vici Gaming, the duo support movement on mid. But EG, as they were in last game, they're prepared.
I was going to say, that's, you know, Crit was going back to base with like half mana, but now that absolutely makes sense. It's every single time they do this rotation, he's ready for it. He TPs instantly before they're even all there. Really heads up set from EG, doing their homework.
So far, so good. It might not be the same sort of lead from EG that they had at this moment last game, but it's not far off. Yeah, 2-0, 1k lead from EG in the first 6 minutes of laning.
Ice getting given the lane. He's level 6 now, so that Lifestealer doesn't really want to approach back over there. DY gonna just pull. He's gonna get good levels up here, but the Lifestealer's gonna just have to sit inside the jungle for the moment. Crit just sticking around mid, using this catapult wave, trying to get some good tower damage. PYW does use his stun, doesn't take too much damage from the EMP. Will clean up a bit of that wave. But they're keeping this catapult alive, tanking it a few hits onto Abed. Creep wave comes in too. Every little bit matters.
Old Lever's got to be careful down there, very close to the 6. If EG's ever able to get him low with a bit of harassment, you know, Arteezy will have no hesitation dropping down the chrono. In fact, he's going to use straight top. Get a use with the 6 up here. They've got enough control here, they do. Or he's in with the grab back. Crit will get taken out. Immediately, Arteezy and Ice Frog looking towards Poyoyo with the Viper Strike and a chrono. Have the lockdown and damage to take down the Lifestealer, as we saw. Arteezy pretty much TP top as soon as he hit that 6.
Loving the moves from both sides. The instant storm rotation when he sees the Tiny walking through his jungle. Instant rotation from Arteezy in reaction, like you said, as soon as he does get that level 6. Crit making the move mid again, even though he does die.
The Dire might want to mine the top tower.
Who is ahead of the Storm Spirit.
Let's see. I'm going for that Witchblade first. Arbed just making sure they have that heavy damage to hit with when he makes these moves as early as he wants to.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
It's very different approaches from certain players. Like we've seen Miracle, every single time he plays Quaswex, he's always going to go Urn. He's always going to go for Spirit Vessel, but he has a Viper on his team who went that Urn, so he's going for a different build. Ice he is going to be going for that Atos build as expected versus the Storm Spirit versus Doom. Just make a lot of sense.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
So very early on. Last game it was 7 minutes, this time it's 9 minutes. It does require a rotation from Arteezy, but still very, very early. He's going to pay the price.
Race off, but they've got the magical damage. No safety here for Fly.
Keeps the regen going on Ori too. So he'll be able to join for the next fight. Has his TP available if he sees an opportunity.
Denied!
And Arteezy's just going to stay playing on Vici Gaming's half of the map now. Knows that Vici's going to be making these aggressive moves around Ori.
Pretty sight right now.
Doesn't want to be anywhere near as he looks to get that first time with the Maelstrom done on his build-up.
Stupendous!
Ice doesn't deviate from the build. I've been seeing a couple of these Vipers. They only put like 2-3 points in poison attack. They start maxing Nether Toxin. I like the max poison attack. You start just getting tanky. You're an offlaner. You want to be tanky, so you get 4 points poison attack. Go for your max corrosive. Maybe 2-3 points, and then you start going back for Nether Toxin. But I like just having max poison attack. That's 90% of the hero.
And he's going to move himself down to the bottom. Make sure that he can keep that wave pushed out and really limit the opportunities for Vici Gaming to try and take early towers themselves. And of course, their lineup, not really the best at taking objectives. I guess both teams not really with the best heroes for sieging towers, but
no,
it's definitely slow here for Vici Gaming when it comes to getting those buildings. Their lineup much more built around getting these pickups, getting these kills. But mid lane, so much going to be there up to Ori. Brings him with the avalanche. Have they got enough damage with that toss? Oh, not quite enough. Okay. Is it about in time? He'll get away. He's going to be missing the stun. As Crib will be able to walk out. Vici Gaming not able to get a catch on EG in return here, as EG still with the 4 at the mid. And let's put the pressure on. RTZ has got Chronosphere up and ready to go if they see an opportunity there.
And they have a catapult. Ice every single time making the moves with those catapults to look for tower pressure. EG always utilizing them at their maximum. Crit gets the toss back.
He's able to get the toss back. UNW will down with the Impale, catches the 2 of them. Diving from DY has got Supernova available, but the curse is going to come out, catches the 2 of them. UNW, he's dead for sure. We see Ice getting caught underneath the tower though because of this. Or he's able to come in with the grab, takes him out. Supernova being popped there as he was a little worried about getting caught from the combo of
bottom
Arbet.
tower seen better days. There goes
EG,
Radiant's
still heavy
bottom
damage done though
tower.
to this mid tower.
Actually, they get bottom tower though. Their card is able to just take it while that whole fight is kicking off. So Vici do get a big kill in response, even though they lose their Nyx assassin. Not too big of a deal.
Dire's top tower.
Egg is on cooldown though.
You know
DY wanting to save his life. Looks like a bit of a funny egg. I'm sure people are typing lol. But does want to protect himself. They are going to refill the bottle of Ori bottom, and he's not going for Orchid. Been interesting since he's playing versus Void. Does seem like it has its very high effectiveness, but he's just going for his own build. He's just going for this Kaya.
I mean, I can't imagine it'll be a Bloodstone Rush. It's got to be a Kaya Sands, right? Yeah. I guess you're just sort of thinking he wants to tank up, so if he does get caught by these stun combos, he's going to live long enough to zip
Dire's
out.
mid tower.
I guess so. Usually you see this when you're versus like a lot of different forms of disable that you can actually prevent with the status resist, but he's versus Chronosphere, so a bit of an interesting approach.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but you think it's going to be sort of a build-up that RTZ, if he catches a click onto Ori, he's going to be quite happy that this Orchid Rush isn't coming this game.
Hell yeah. RTZ's already got the Maelstrom finished very early on in the game.
Have an easy kill.
Yep. His Midas, it's up.
He's not got anything to Midas.
Oh no. The pain, the agony.
That hurts. That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. Poor old 11.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Old 11, indeed.
Old 11.
Radiant's bottom tower in a pretty sight right now.
Gonna get pushed back from a couple hits from the Witchblade. Much more farm-heavy game. 5-3, 13 minutes. PYW starting to do some scouting. They have this deep aggressive ward that they placed last time too. Crit is sitting in the area to protect Abed, and double sentries down. I want to see what Ori queues up next.
Well, I mean, it could be Kaya. Well, would you go Kaya into the Orchid? Surely not, because then that's if you're still going to get the Orchid, you've just slowed it down unnecessarily, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really curious to see what he does look to go for. Yeah, if it is going to be like a Bloodstone. I would imagine so. Just.
I will see. I mean, so far so good for him. 2-0-1. He's been having a solid start here, Ori. A lot of space and time being given though to RTZ. He's up there, keeping on par with the farm of old 11's Midas.
DOI looking to play more around the Sunray this game, going for the Holy Locket. Like this build up more as a... When you're playing the 5 Phoenix, it makes a lot more sense. When you're playing the 4 Phoenix, you want to go for your more like carry kind of potential. So I do like that, especially versus a hero like Void. Anyone who gets caught inside that Chronosphere, you can potentially try to save them. And Vici going for a much more farming style, as we mentioned. Midas on the Doom, the Devour. Just feel like it will pay off for them. And it is just going to be the
can get the... Yeah. I guess just really valuing the extra survivability.
Yeah.
If he does get caught by some of the stuns that are offer here from EG.
Does make him tanky, at least 2 versus that Chrono. Atos is finished from Ice. More catch. Vici's hunting.
Gotta be careful, yeah, with that chrono coming
Dire's
up round the
mid
corner.
tower could use a little help.
Counterplays
Trouble
are
brewing
available
at
for
Radiant's
EG.
bottom tower.
And that move as well. Before old 11 quite had the blink dagger. I mean, this is going to be the key thing that will really set up the team fights for success. If old 11 can get in, ideally catch Arbed or Arteezy with the Doom.
Stupendous!
Well, let's see. The smoke, not going to achieve anything at all here, Vici Gaming. And we'll see if they want to try and pull something together around this tier 2 mid if VG push in.
EG's walking up. Ice. He's spotted.
Let the fun begin!
He's actually going to blink back. He doesn't want to blink in aggressively. IceFrog being protected here by the cold embrace. After diving from DY, we'll be back out to the side. The Atos will hold him in place. Neither team really getting a full grab on one another. There's old 11 hiding in the wings again, ready to go for a jump. They've got to be so aware, though, of Arteezy in this Chronosphere. Could put complete stop to the team fight that Vici Gaming attempt to bring.
I love how bold Ice is. He knows he has the backup of the cold embrace, but just face checking the high ground, knowing he's got all that backup. Love to see it. Both teams look like they're both going for their own item timings. No one's really looking to force too much of that pressure. Abed looking to go for perhaps a BKB before going for that Aghanims that we know will inevitably come out with that Void.
Yeah, it's all he really needs to do this game. Cataclysm is just going to be that game winning down the line with the Chronosphere setup.
Top old 11 setting up for crit.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's
Back up
bottom
though.
He's got
tower.
the damage. Turn with the level 2, he's going to drop the Doom down. Afterwards, he does they'll take out Arteezy. He's not going to be able to walk up to the vortexes there, doesn't matter. Arteezy still having to get the hits in to take down the Supernova, but EG have lost 3. Vici Gaming clean up this time. Can they get Arteezy or Arbed as well? They've got the
Radiant's mid towers get banged up.
the mark. They're able to dodge it. Arteezy's even thinking about turning. Trying to get back in there, but old 11 jumps across with the hoostop, catches the two. They'll get the setup. They take down Arbed. Arteezy, he can't finish off old 11. They've lost 4 EG. As Arteezy, he's just got to run. He's got no business here anymore. As Vici Gaming taking a smart fight round the tier 2. Getting in on the supports first, and EG just not quite able to pull together that team fight or find the opportunity for an early chrono to turn things around there.
What a play from old 11, really. The war stomp there, just saving his teammates, covering them from the back, from the initiation, from the Invoker. Clean plays from Vici, nice responsive plays too. EG starting to get out farmed. This Midas, it's paying off for the Doom. The Storm Spirit's just having this free farm too. Lifestealer, Poyoyo, he's not getting pressured either.
Going to try for the setup on PYW. Are we going to see anything from Mori?
Whoa,
He's
what I
watching
miss?
from the side. He's going to try and come in and turn it into the Vortex grab off to Arteezy, but the curse comes out. Fly keeps him safe. Arteezy, he'll bail out of it. Dime walks back to safety. Over to the side, they'll focus towards Fly, but Fly keeps himself protected for now with the cold embrace. See if Poyoyo's able to do the damage with the Sunray. He will. Fly gets taken out. Poyoyo trying to turn towards his next target. Moving in onto Crit. Jumping into the freeze, trying to get out of there, but the Bashes and the cold snap comes out. He'll jump out. Arteezy jumping back to safety. The Sunstrike comes crashing down onto Poyoyo. Striking the poison, and the Viper Strike coming out from IceFrog. He's got the damage. He's taken out too. He's ready to try and go for more. The tornado from Arbe comes out, catches both on 11 and Ori. Only PYW getting out of there. As quickly EG lose a team fight top, they come back in with the action in the mid lane, and EG, they come back out on top again.
And Ice wildly draws lines on the map to deal with the lanes after that. They chased for Fly, they chased for Crit, they chased for the supports, they get punished for it heavily. Ice looking to go for PYW. Max Carapace
Time is money.
won't cover him. Great fight from EG.
And that's always going to be a little bit concerning here for Vici Gaming, losing a team fight like that when Chronosphere wasn't even involved.
Supports bailing them out of some difficult situations. Beautiful tornado too to follow. And Ori is going to go back for that Orchid.
Oh.
I'm over here! I'm over here!
All right. Well, top, Ori.
Here I am!
They can have the catch on Fly. As Fly, can they save him? They cannot. Cannot indeed. As that's Fly gone. Old 11. The Chrono's up. We'll see if Arteezy wants to try and go for this. He's not going to try. Vici Gaming back up to the high ground. EG will hold back.
Too scary jumping in blind there. The Phoenix, they saw the Sunray. He's still got egg. Don't want to commit out to a
Dyer's
Chronosphere there on total
mid-towers
11. He's still
technical
very tanky
difficulties.
himself. There's a DD bottom. This could be the play that they look for with the Chrono. He's not really forced into it, by the way. He's maxing time dilation instead of putting that secondary point. Since it only does increase 0.5, does prioritize his other abilities.
I mean, that's actually pretty big brain.
Yeah, I like
you
it.
say, you know, that 0.5 seconds, definitely something you could argue does not matter nearly as much as the scalability of the dilation.
Yeah, I definitely like it. I've seen a lot of players doing more of these different skill builds lately, especially with the introduction of stats back in the game. Crit still doesn't have blink. This is one of the slower ones I've seen from these 4 positions. Does need to find a little bit of space to farm so they have a secondary form of initiation, because right now they're more about counter initiation, and otherwise it's Arteezy who has to be the full setup for them. A bit awkward. Got SNY though finished. Good timing still on Arteezy, but Vici is climbing ahead more and more because of this Doom, just how massive Old 11 really is. BKB coming out in the courier, approaching that Orchid. Poyoyo almost has his own SNY too. Oh, okay. They're gonna go for the Roche here with the Alacrity. There's 4 points. There's a double Forge Spirit also from Abed.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Chrono. They're happy for Vici Game to come over and try and take a fight. Because Vici Game, they've got pretty good methods to take a fight with and ways to dive in and disrupt this. We'll see if they can find the timing. DY's going to go for the Chrono. Easy covering the Roshan and the Aegis here, dropping the Chrono. Prepared for that commitment from Vici Game as they take down DY. The curse comes out. Arteezy should still drop the once here, but of course, having a chance to get back, he's going to be ready for round 2. But the toss in, throwing Abed into the front lines. They're able to take out Old 11. PYW trying to get out, but the dust is there. They've got the vision, they've got the control, they do. Dilation from Arteezy catches the next assassin. EG, they'll keep it safe around the pit. As, Sunshine will hit on Poyoyo. Should have the movement speed to get out here with the fake. He will indeed manage to get away there. Some good plays there. EG keeping it smart. Arteezy knowing that he has to make sure that Roche is secured, and he does that perfectly with the Chrono.
He's being so clutch for his team right now. 5-0-6 on the Void. He's the one keeping them at disadvantage. Beautiful. If they get the egg off, I was like, oh, DY almost
Radiant's
does connect with it, but
seen better days.
nice Chrono from Arteezy.
Dyer's mid tower
Ori was not involved. He was looking to get some more farm for the Storm Spirit. Getting close to that Orchid. Still will be very effective. There is the SNY, of course, that status resist for Arteezy to protect him, but still very, very valuable versus him and versus the rest of the lineup of EG. They do lose the Aegis, so quick as they do get it, they do quickly lose it as well.
I see Old 11. I mean, after the BKB, you know, what with still this immense amount of gold that he does have flowing in, what other items does he need to be getting up for the team here, do you think?
Could be a Shiva's. He could still go for something just rush of like that refresher that we've seen him do. Might be a bit limited on the mana pool, so does want probably the Shiva's in between. We'll see.
Haste!
Heading in, Old 11.
Looking for a fight.
How heavy does he want to commit, though? He's not going to get the chance to. Curse holds back the 2 of them.
Radiant's
He's
bottom
going
tower
to still
is
try with the
pretty
diamond.
set right
He's having to
now.
get the catch onto Arbet. Cold Embrace comes into play. Can they actually protect their Invoker? They can't. Arbet will fall. Vici Game, he
Radiant's
gets
mid
the kill.
tower could use a hand.
Gotta love that interaction.
Have
Sunray
fun
will
trying to
continue
bust
going
down
even if you are
Radiant's
cursed,
structures
so
now.
it's still able to get that Supernova off afterwards.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
That's the Orchid reveal too from Ori. Level 17 on him, and they will get this tower
Radiant's
down
mid
finally.
tower's in trouble.
PYW looking for the next target already.
Yeah.
Dyer's
Scout
top
something
tower
out. They're looking towards Ice in. They come. Ori and Poyo straight over on top of the Vipers. PYW gives them the information they need to push on for another kill.
EG pretty much completely relying on Chronosphere to be able to weather the storm of Vici. Even though they got the Roche, they don't have the Aegis for these upcoming fights, and definitely missing
Radiant's
big
mid
damage
tower's
elements.
getting
Viper,
banged
very
up.
dominant inside the laning phase, but as we've seen multiple times at this tournament, his effectiveness does start to get reduced heavily.
Stupendous!
Especially when they can just infest bomb. Usually you're the counter to Lifestealer, but when Lifestealer has methods of delivery, it does counteract the Viper that usually is good for him.
Look at this tap on him.
11.
Just a
They're
quick
looking for
move.
more.
So
Arteezy.
Chrono's going to get dropped. Arteezy, he's got the damage. He's going to try and turn over Wartori. Behind the All Scepter, the Doom's been dropped down. Arteezy, he's done for.
The darkness.
They're starting to lose control of the
Really
game,
quick
EG.
moves. Yeah, Vici Gaming just running all over the map. EG getting picked apart and losing the all-important Faceless Void. As you can see with the individual net worth, a lot of it riding on the shoulders of RTZ. They've got to keep him safe. Him dying is going to hurt tenfold here for the game from EG's perspective as things go on.
No Chronosphere though. Next fight's still gonna look to be pretty difficult for them, as Egg is coming back up in 5 seconds. PYW doing an excellent job of scouting over and over again, and they do always have these long jumps with the Orchid, with the Infest. Looks a very tough game for EG moving forward. All dependent on this Void really to land perfect Chronosphere, and depending on Abed to get that Aghanims at a good timing so they can get the
He needs,
He really feels like he's gonna need it this game.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not going to come too quick. They will get sped up a little bit there for the kill they can catch. And in fact, Fly trying to go for more, but Ori's in with the kill. They straight in with the silence onto Fly. They take down the Wyvern. Old 11 trying to commit on with the BKB, but he's already been slowed down heavily. Nice. Thinking about maybe poking back in on him.
Pretty sight right now.
Kind of alone though. Over towards the mid, Abed. She opting to cancel his own TP here as he wishes to stay around, but that's going to give Ori the chance to take back in on it. Ori just straight away onto Abed. Abed popping the BKB will manage to get out to the side as he'll live. RTZ's got to be careful. No Chrono for 60 seconds. They'll try and set up the setup and burn the man of the lifestealer, but he's inside of the range creep with the Infest. He's able to dodge it all. As in fact, Poyoyo, he's thinking about getting back in on this. Sunstrike comes out, does connect onto DY, but not quite enough to finish him off. Nice. Underwater, they have the vision upon him. Leads him with the Atos from the low ground, and Old Level with his BKB on cooldown. He's looking pretty dead here. EG able to find an opportunity to punch back with that vision.
Gem picked up from DY. Looking to really control the map is usually what that says. When you're playing with a Nyx Assassin especially, just always wanting to be able to lead the charge. I've been seeing blanketed sentries across the board here from Vici. Still continuing to get this lead growing. Even though EG is getting a couple pickoffs here, the efficiency on the map is much higher from Vici.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
Storm now with
The Dire went and fortified their structures.
Yeah, Ori, he can just go straight in on any of these.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Now, even RTZ right now, BKB, it's just about to come out for him.
Dire's got
if
one
they're able to
last
get him
top
with a quick
tower.
setup, that Vortex before he can get either off, they've got good chain control to follow it behind. So we're seeing at Old 11, that Doom is definitely a huge struggle for these cores, especially when EG's lineup is really starting to shift the way as the game progresses to all rest on RTZ's Void. If he gets caught, the fight is pretty much over.
Does feel pretty challenging here. Fly has to have perfect positioning to save the cores that might get initiated on Sin. Vici has so many different forms to do that initiation. Infest, they're looking for a fight. Gem on the Storm, DD in the bottle. Seem to know where EG's positioning is right now. Yeah.
RTZ's got to get some sort of insane Chronosphere here to stop Vici Gaming getting a lot of kills. Ice to start things off. Quick dodge of the tornado. Ice getting caught at rest. It's going to buy him some time. Not enough though. Maybe a curse. Ori's able to zip past him. And over to the side. We drop down the board. They run him down. And there's a escape from R2 then. And maybe more. With the jump over the crit. Vici Gaming, they find another.
He's not gonna hit back, but he might just get chased.
He pulled back for this.
Okay, he's
got to be careful.
That was pretty risky, it feels like, from Ice. Old 11 was ready to follow up there with the War Stomp at any moment.
These are big moves from Vici Gaming. It's really speeding up to a point that, I mean, as we say, I think somehow, some way, Abed, he's just got to get this Ags.
He does.
And they're looking for the Cataclysm comeback. This is one of those games that I don't think anything else is going to be able to do it here, as Vici Gaming are really starting to overrun EG.
Dire's top
the
tower
team
is
fight
getting
to catch
beat
everything,
down.
it feels like, too. Vici just starting to really get too big of an advantage for EG to hit back. It does feel like, yeah, 4-man Chronosphere, some Cataclysm to bring them back into it. Because Tiny, Viper, these two heroes are lane dominators. The game has gotten to a point now where it's fighting. There is a Doom cooldown, there is an Egg cooldown. EG is going to try to take advantage of it. Who they can find. They have this top vision right now. They spot DY. They see those storms backing up.
Can't mess this up. He's got it straight down.
And that's the gem.
Instant drop there, and that is the gem as well. So not only a huge kill, but a tasty objective there with the gem changing hands.
And priority
So
of targets
EG's
too.
side.
The ward spotted both heroes. They saw the Phoenix going left. They saw the Storm going right. So they predicted that he's going to go farm that camp. They get the perfect setup there from Arteezy. Long cooldown.
Could be a good
It is a
time
big
to-
kickoff,
Are you ready
but
to
Vici
rumble?
could strike back very soon.
There's a little bit of a window where Roche will be up, but Ori will still be dead, but probably won't be enough for EG to do anything about.
No. It's 18 seconds till it does respawn. He's going to be back up.
Yeah.
They're already scanning it. And it is showing up, so they might think that it's going on already. And Old 11
they're
switches
charging
the
straight
build.
over.
He goes for the Ags instead. He had the Sheep's queued up, but he just goes plate mail into an Aghanims. Great.
That's easy. Jump ahead. He jumps in. The tornado does come out. Arteezy gets the BKB off. Turns over towards Old 11, but Old 11's able to get the 2 off Arteezy. He's trying to run. Corner Bridge will go in. North Ice he's able to take down the Supernova. Arteezy, they're trying to save it, but they cannot. The curse to hold back Poyo, but Arteezy will still go down. Ice caught out by the Spike Carapace. Another kill for Poyo. As Vici again once more coming out on top of these skirmishes. They're going to have Rory back up. Roshan is there. Poyo's going to head into the pit. No Ice, and no Arteezy. Vici Gaming fully aware that there's very little EG can do about this.
Yeah, there's no way that they can fight back here. Split push lanes immediately. Abed, try to maximize your farm to get that Aghanims online, but yeah, Vici. Ags Doom. I really didn't expect him to go for it, but I guess to counteract the status resist, you know, if you're going to reduce the cooldown, if you're going to reduce the duration of my Doom, I'm going to increase the duration of my Doom. So it's that kind of approach there. You know,
Immortality is
Left on the
mine!
ground for quite a bit of time. He tries for it, won't be able to get either. The kill still there for Vici Gaming, and the Aegis as well also secured by Vici as well.
they got everything. Yeah, Cheese, Shard, Aegis. Aegis starting to feel that pressure. You can feel when your crits jumping into the rush to try to stop it.
Dire's bottom
You know, they're in a
tower's
really
getting
tough
the
spot.
business.
Ahmed
Radiant's mid tower
halfway
could use a
towards the
hand.
Aghanims. He is getting there.
Is it gonna
I
be
mean,
enough? I don't even know if it's going to be enough. They're itemizing versus it. Like,
Radiant's
Warriors
top
is
tower's
panic.
hurting.
He's 3,800
Yeah, he's
HP.
got
Radiant's gone
3,700
and
HP.
fortified their
Yeah.
structures.
I don't think it's going to be enough, even if they can. They need to get. It really does feel like they need to get like a 4-man Chronosphere.
They need to get the refresher shard. Or so, you know, we're gonna have 2 rounds of these cataclysms. Otherwise, yeah, this Lifestealer's not gonna die. Old Levin's probably not going to die.
I feel like any of them. Phoenix is 2,600 HP too. Nyx 2k HP. The Nyx.
That's true. Yeah.
He's the squishiest hero, and he's 2,000 health. Him and the Storm Spirit. Arteezy's feeling the need for damage. Usually we talk about this talent, the level 21 on Void, where you want to get Time Walk, but I gotta say, I feel like this might be one of those games where you do need attack speed. They're just absolutely lacking in just damage inside of that Chronosphere now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's how they win a fight. They have to get the Chrono, get at least 1 kill out of it to start the action off. The sort of the drawn-out fights are not going to benefit them against these heroes like Poyoyo's Lifesteal, of course, with Satanic Rage. He can keep himself alive throughout the entirety of the Chaos.
Double
Always zipping in and
damage.
out. You know, the drawn-out fights are just never going to quite cut it for EG. They've got to do something big with a wham-bam.
And Vici's the one making the quicker moves, making the quick initiations every time. Old 11 on the prowl with PYW. Smoked up. Since they saw Arteezy farming up top, they expected him to rotate toward the Ancients, but look where Arteezy's hiding. He's just sitting in the trees, terrified.
Nice. Yeah, understandably so. Against this Blink Doom, against the Ori
Radiant's
Storm
mid
Spirit,
tower
so
could
many
use a
things they're
hand.
going to get thrown in his direction when he shows his face.
I see the lines drawn from Ice. He's like, someone try to push out bottom. Maybe telling
Radiant's
Abed
mid
to send some
tower's
Forge
getting
Spirits down
banged
there to
up.
deal with that wave. But anyone who shows will die.
Radiant's mid tower
Have to be
ain't
super
doing so
careful the way they
good.
play now on EG. Game getting to the realms of impossible.
Haste!
Arteezy still chilling in the trees until he sees something.
Brief pause here from the EG lads. The
How's our
closing in as what we got?
I'm just checking out the experience lead. So 17,000 gold lead, experience 25,000 lead for Vici. Really starting to feel so difficult for the side of EG. As Vici just constantly swinging around. PYW leading the charge, level 3 Vendetta, so permanent uptime. No space for EG to get out on the map. Oh,
yeah,
they seem to know. They're pinging where Arteezy is. Starting to get a little suspicious.
Pushing out this bottom wave. I mean, there might be some
top towers in bad shape.
merit to let Arbed get a wave or two here. He's just 500 off the Aghanims.
So close.
Probably the
One less
closest
top
to that.
tower for the
It's going to
Radiant.
carry quite some significance if they want to try and turn these fights.
Yeah, I'm checking out if there's anything else that will really help them out much more.
Radiant's
Only locking for
top
Fly
towers
will be
are-
nice to at least give them some healing, but it's damage that EG is lacking. He's going into the enemy ancient side to find that farm.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits. The Radiant got one last top
And he will have
tower.
it finished.
I mean, look at this now, but PYW scouts out Arteezy, gives the info for all left to start coming across. They're going to be able to open up, but straight away they get on top of Arteezy. At the same time, Ori moves in onto Fly. Expertly scouted out there by PYW. They know how desperate EG is to try and get out on the map, get some farm. And PYW, he's ready with the setup.
Old 11 is just so massive, Owen. 23,000 net worth. He buys himself the Shard too, so extra stun on top of War Stomp, the Doom too. So you mentioned, the Ag's really effective here versus the status resist. Full AC now on Lifestealer. With that kill, they can go high ground. It's only Chronosphere they have to worry about.
Radiant
He's dead.
structures must have been fortified.
Yeah. They've got the Ags on the Invoker, the characters, they've got the Chrono. The question is if it's actually going to do anything at this point. I think as you're sort of alluding to, the answer is probably not.
Probably not. But it's going to look
Radiant's
cool.
mid tower ain't doing
It's
so
going to look
good.
cool. It's going to look cool.
Radiant's
Indeed.
mid racks
You know,
taking some
if you're going to go
punishment.
out, you want to go out in style. That's Vici Gaming. They'll take this mid racks. Nothing to be done here by EG. I'll let Poyo have that completely uninterrupted.
And that is the Aegis getting reclaimed. Ooh, a timeless relic. Here you go, Ori. That's a nice one. That's one that EG needs too. Any amount of damage.
Okay,
That's
EG
spell
need
damage
that.
with Cataclysm.
Yeah.
They need a timeless relic. Go farm it. They need it.
Yeah, this is probably what could give it. If they can get Refresher on Arbed, and he's able to find one of those sort of timeless relic or spell prism, something to get the combo a little more uptime, a little more potency, then maybe they have a chance in the team fight. But they literally need the double Cataclysm. Anything less, I don't think they can do it.
No, and they need to catch everybody, because even if they do catch like 3 or 4, if the Phoenix isn't caught inside of it, he's going to counteract all the damage with the Sunray really quickly, because it's not going to one-shot these heroes since they're so tanky. Full Refresher now on Old 11 as well. We've seen this one a lot on his Doom. He's just massive. He also finds
action again, but they have vision down.
Oh.
What do they want to do about this, EG?
The PYW
They know
knows.
PYW is coming in the trees for him.
He knows they're here, it feels like. He shows himself. They're thinking about it.
Radiant's
They
mid-range.
don't want to show
He's
it.
terrified.
Yeah, you can't go on that Nyx.
No. Ninja Gear also pointed out on Old 11. Great initiation tool on these heroes like Doom. They saw Arteezy for a second. Old 11 who wants blood. Lincoln's picked up on IceFrog. We'll be able to block perhaps one of those Dooms on Arteezy, but there is a secondary one. Yo-yo. He's showing. They're gonna go for it. But it's...
Oh no, he missed! Oh no!
Oh no.
Well, we'll see what they can do otherwise. They're trying to hit onto Ori.
Somebody's on
looking
the
pretty bad.
Even mountains to
We'll see
dust.
if that might be one of the ones that pushes you over the edge there. It's so much pressure for the Chronos to be amazing, and ends up on the complete opposite end of the scale there. That's not what they need, EG. That won't cut it at this point.
That's that. Oh, we don't even get to see the Cataclysm combo, I don't think, Owen. They still
come
have
on,
another round of Doom,
I want to
too.
see a Cataclysm, come
Radiant's
on!
top
gonna be- he
towers
doesn't
are
have
I'm
buyback,
very
he's dead
disappointed
for
if we end the
60.
game without one combo.
Oh, man. Oops.
games. You know, we've waited all this time. You know, we want to see at least one
Radiant lost
Chrono
the top
Cataclysm.
tower.
Come on.
Radiant's top
Isaac,
rags
might not
is
get
running
there.
out of time.
Don't GG out yet, guys. We gotta get it there. We gotta get him to cast it.
gotta
There
get
goes
one
the
more.
Radiant's mid-range. So long to the
nice.
Radiant's top rags.
They're going to jump
Radiant's
on
top
over the
rag.
Z4.
Radiant has
Trying to keep
all
him covered
rags.
in with the
Gone.
avalanche, but the Supernova's down. Ice
return to fulfill my destiny.
Easy. Ice going to get him back to the fountain. They'll push him in. Ice will be saved. Now it's Easy jumping in aggressively over towards Poyoyo. BKB out from old 11. He was thinking about maybe getting back in as he has got the refresher ready to pop to get that second Doom down onto Artsy.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
Chrono, of course, though, for
They can't
70
fight.
seconds.
They can't do anything.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Immediately pops the refresher, looks towards Artsy. The Lucas will come out towards
How about
Artura.
that?
Keep him safe.
Somebody's
Ice
on
goes down. The spike caravan catches Artsy.
warning shot travel. Win and
Turns his
win.
attention over towards Poyoyo. Now turns
Radiant's
his
bottom
attention to getting
tower's
back into
seen
the
better
fountain.
days.
They're
Radiant's
away, but
bottom
now no
tower's
Ice
done
for a
for.
full minute.
Abed.
Try with the setup here. But the BKB's out straight with more level. They get Artsy dead. Out front.
Three
It's
down.
over. GG is called.
Someone's having
Vici
technical
Gaming after
difficulties.
a rough game one here
down.
against DG.
4 down.
They
Guys,
really do
done
hit
it
back
again.
hard in this second match. This was more of what we expect to see from this side.
Yeah, they go for a much more comfortable style. EG does feel like they went a little bit out of the realms of their comfort where they just overwhelmingly dominate the lanes. They go for more of this late game combo strategy. Vici just, they get so much farm on the map. Everyone's just farming. Lifestealer farming jungle, Storm doing whatever he really wants in the game, Doom just continuously farming from Devour and Midas, PYW doing some godly scouting. They buy the gem, they get a huge advantage. They do get like 1 or 2 of these nice Chronospheres from Arteezy to catch the Storm Spirit to secure themselves a first Roche, but they don't get to do anything because they lose the Aegis right away out of that first Roche, and it really is just Vici all over the place this game.
All right, carry on.